All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep
Oh,
into the
yeah.
world of 90 Day Fiancé.
Here we go.
But not just any couple.
Oh, no.
We're talking Brian and Ingrid.
Ooh, juicy.
Their story's blowing up all over the internet.
Yeah,
And
I've seen it.
we've got a whole pile of YouTube videos, articles, and even some Reddit threads
Oh, wow, the Reddit threads. Those are always good.
about their supposed breakup.
Interesting.
Now, just in case you haven't been glued to the TV screen,
Right.
90 Day Fiancé follows couples who are
Yeah.
navigating this whole K-1 visa process.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
So that means one person's from another country,
Yep.
and they've got just 90 days to get married.
90 days. That's it.
Or that person has to go back home.
Wow, the pressure.
So the stakes are high,
For sure.
and the drama,
Oh, yeah.
it's basically built in.
Guaranteed.
But what's really got everybody talking is this rumor
Uh-oh.
that Brian and Ingrid's relationship
Yeah.
is more fake than real.
Oh, no.
Yeah, with accusations that Brian is lying about, well, practically everything.
Whoa. Okay.
You're going beyond the show's edit to see if we can figure out what is really going on.
I'm in.
So one of the biggest bombshells
Okay.
came from a totally unexpected source,
What was it?
a Reddit user
No way.
who just happened to be Brian's Uber driver.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Wow, small world.
This passenger claims that Brian spilled all the tea.
Oh, during the ride?
Yeah, alleging they were already over
Really?
before filming even started.
Wow, that's shady.
So this Uber confession really added fuel to the fire
Oh, for sure.
that's been burning since day one.
Yeah, I bet.
Viewers have been noticing these inconsistencies in Brian's story,
Yeah, like what?
especially about how he became paralyzed.
That's a big one.
Yeah, on the show, Brian said his ex-wife hired
Oh, wow.
2 guys to beat him up,
No way.
and that's how he ended up paralyzed.
Oh, my gosh.
But there's another side to this story,
Oh, there is.
and it comes straight from
From who?
Brian's third ex-wife.
Oh, boy.
She came forward
Really?
with info that paints a very different picture.
Okay, I'm listening.
She claims the incident happened
Okay.
while Brian was involved in drug dealing,
Drug dealing what?
and his paralysis wasn't from
Right.
some random attack, but it was a consequence of his own actions.
Oh, wow. Hold on. So,
This totally contradicts what he said on the show,
yeah, it does.
and it raises serious questions about his credibility.
Yeah, I can see why.
So are we seeing a pattern here
A pattern of...
of Brian creating this persona just for the cameras?
Interesting.
And if that's the case,
Yeah.
why? What's he trying to get out of all of this?
Yeah. What's the angle?
It's a big question, and
Yeah.
we got to acknowledge the context here.
Contact.
Reality television.
Right.
These shows thrive on drama,
Totally.
and sometimes participants,
Yeah.
they might exaggerate or even make stuff up
Really?
just for entertainment.
Wow. Anything for the views.
Okay, so there's potential for producers to be manipulating things.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about Ingrid in all of this.
Right. Of course.
She's facing some serious accusations from Brian himself.
Like what?
During that Uber ride,
Mm-hmm.
Brian allegedly called Ingrid
He called her what?
a prostitute,
What?
and he also said she was a hypocrite for judging his past,
Oh, wow.
while allegedly using drugs herself.
Oh, my God.
Those are some heavy accusations.
Yeah, they are.
And we should mention that Ingrid has denied all of it,
Oh, she has.
saying she has a job,
Good for her.
is a dedicated mom,
Mm-hmm.
and has never used or sold drugs.
So it's really a...
It feels like a classic he said, she said situation.
Okay, it's the same.
We've got 2 very different versions of events,
Yeah.
and it's tough to know what's true.
Without more evidence.
But even beyond the accusations themselves,
Right.
the fact that Brian would say all of this publicly
Yeah.
is pretty shocking.
Talk about a breach of trust.
It's exactly. It makes you wonder what his motivations really are.
Yeah. You see.
Is this a calculated move to discredit Ingrid,
Hmm.
or is he just acting out of anger and hurt?
Yeah.
Or could this be part of a bigger storyline
Oh.
that the producers are cooking up?
I see what you mean.
It's easy to forget
Yeah.
that reality TV is a business.
It is.
And there's a whole team
Yeah.
behind the scenes shaping the story.
Totally.
Speaking of drama,
Oh.
let's talk about Ingrid's mom.
Oh, boy.
Remember that super awkward meeting with Brian?
Oh, yeah.
You could practically feel her disapproval,
I bet.
like a dark cloud hanging over her head.
It was that obvious.
Ingrid's mom was skeptical of Brian
Right from the start.
from the moment they met,
It seemed like it.
and her doubts only grew stronger.
As the visit went on.
Yeah, remember the gift Brian brought her?
What was it again?
A handbag.
Oh, yeah.
It totally backfired.
Really? How?
Seemed like a nice gesture. But Ingrid's mom took it as Brian trying to buy her affection.
Ouch. Gotta hurt.
She even refused to have lunch with him.
Seriously?
And then Brian made this comment about Ingrid joining him in America.
Oh, yeah.
And that really poured gasoline on the fire.
Oh, no.
He just casually mentioned her moving to the U.S.
Right.
And given the whole visa situation
Yeah.
and the tension that was already there,
Yeah.
it came across as super insensitive.
Oh, I bet.
Ingrid's mom seemed to think
What did she think?
that Brian was dismissing her daughter's life in Brazil
Uh-huh.
and trying to control her future.
I see.
It was like he was minimizing her entire life
Yeah.
and all the sacrifices she'd be making to be with him.
Not good.
So we've got Brian's alleged lies,
Yeah.
Ingrid's denials,
Mm-hmm.
and a very disapproving mother.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
This is turning into a real-life telenovela,
I know, right?
and we're just getting started.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
We've been talking a lot about Brian and Ingrid's mom,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to kind of step back for a second
Okay.
and look at the bigger picture here.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
What we're seeing on our screens and in those Reddit threads,
Right.
it's not just messy reality TV drama.
Okay.
It raises some serious questions
Like what?
about the power dynamics at play.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
When we look at all the information,
Mm-hmm.
especially the stuff outside the show itself,
Right.
it's hard not to notice the imbalance
The imbalance of,
of power in their relationship.
yeah, between Brian and Ingrid.
She's relying on a K-1 visa,
Right.
which means her ability to stay in the U.S.
Yep.
is totally tied to marrying Brian.
That's true.
It puts her in a really vulnerable position.
For sure.
It makes you think about why Ingrid would even do the show.
Yeah. With all those red flags.
Was it because she genuinely wanted to share her love story?
Maybe.
Or was she feeling pressured?
To like make it work.
Yeah, even if it meant putting herself at risk.
That's a good question.
And that leads us to a bigger question
About
the ethics of reality TV itself.
ooh, that's a big one.
Are producers taking advantage of vulnerable people?
Just for entertainment.
Exactly. Are they making things worse
By like stirring up drama?
by manipulating situations to get more drama?
Yeah, it's all about the ratings, right?
Okay, so we've got this power dynamic
Uh-huh.
influenced by the visa process and the reality TV machine.
Right?
And then we add in the cultural differences,
Yeah, that's another layer.
which also creates tension.
Absolutely.
Remember that scene where Ingrid
Yeah.
seemed really uncomfortable
Oh, yeah.
changing Brian's catheter?
That was awkward.
Some people thought it was fake,
Just for the cameras.
but others said
It could be.
it could be a genuine cultural difference.
Yeah, about personal care and intimacy.
That scene really stuck with me.
Me too.
It shows that cultural nuances can play a big part
Yeah.
in how these relationships unfold.
Both on and off camera?
What's interesting is
Yeah.
this whole situation also highlights
It highlights
how we as viewers interpret these narratives.
Ew, that's interesting.
We love the drama, the conflict, the will they, won't they.
Right. Of course, who doesn't?
But how much of it is real?
Yeah. Good point.
And are we contributing to harmful stereotypes?
By buying into the storylines.
Exactly. It's like we're all
It's like we're armchair detectives trying to piece together the truth.
from these little clues.
Just try it with the YouTube videos, the Reddit threads.
Right.
But it's important to remember
What's that?
that these are real people
With real feelings.
with real feelings and real consequences.
Yeah, that's a good reminder.
It reminds us to be skeptical
Yeah.
of reality TV and to think critically.
About what we're seeing.
Is it really true?
Right. Is it just for entertainment?
Or are they manipulating us?
It's easy to forget.
Yeah.
There's a whole team behind the scenes.
Shaping the narrative.
Exactly. And we should also consider
Consider what?
the long-term impact of all this exposure.
Right.
Ingrid especially is facing some serious accusations
Yeah.
that could hurt her reputation.
Even if they're not true.
The court of public opinion can be brutal,
It can be.
and it's easy to forget
Yeah.
that these reality TV people
Right.
have lives outside the show.
They're not just characters
Exactly. They're real people,
dealing with real stuff.
and we're only seeing a tiny part of the whole story.
That's so true.
Okay, let's go back to Ingrid's mom for a minute.
Okay.
She seemed to know something was off with Brian.
From the very beginning.
Was it just a mother's intuition
Me.
or a cultural difference in how they view relationships?
Could be both.
I think it's a mix of things.
Yeah, like
Others just have a sense.
when something's not right.
Exactly. And Ingrid's mom clearly saw the red flags.
The ones that others might have missed.
And she was coming from a different cultural perspective.
Where relationships are viewed differently?
More cautiously and practically.
Yeah.
Her reaction to Brian's comment about America
Oh, yeah.
really shows that cultural difference.
How so?
It wasn't just about her daughter moving away.
It was more than that.
It was about the power imbalance
Uh-huh.
and Brian making decisions about Ingrid's future
Without considering her family.
or Ingrid's own dream.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's crazy how these small moments
She reveals so much.
about cultural differences
That's a good reminder.
that we can't always understand
Situations in different parts of the world.
using our own cultural norm.
Exactly.
This whole deep dive is like
Like what?
peeling back the layers of an onion.
Oh, I like that.
The more we learn,
Yeah,
the more we realize how much we don't know.
that's the beauty of it.
It makes us challenge our assumptions
And then critically.
about everything we're seeing and hearing.
I love it.
It's a reminder
What?
that the truth is often much more complicated.
Than it seems on the surface.
Okay, so we've really gone deep.
We have,
On Brian and Ingrid's story,
yeah, all the twists and turns.
from Uber confessions to cultural clashes.
It's been a wild ride.
But let's zoom out for a minute
Okay.
and think about the bigger picture.
What do you...
This isn't just about them anymore.
It's bigger than that.
Their story has become this example
Of what?
of how reality TV works,
Uh-huh.
the ethics of it all,
Yeah.
and how complicated relationships can be.
Especially in today's world.
At the end of the day,
Right.
we have to remember
Yeah.
there are real people involved,
With real feelings.
and the line between entertainment and exploitation,
Yeah. That line can get blurry.
especially in reality TV.
Totally.
And I think it's our job as viewers
Our job
to be aware of that,
to be aware of.
the ethical side of things.
Right, because
It's easy to get caught up.
in the drama
Yeah. And forget that these are real people
with real problems
going through some tough stuff.
under a microscope.
And we need to think about the impact
The impact on
on them, especially when accusations and personal info
they're just thrown out there.
so casual.
And it's not just about protecting them.
It's about us too.
About how we watch these shows.
Right.
Do we believe everything we see?
At face value.
Or do we question things?
The stories they're telling us.
And recognize that maybe they're exaggerating.
Or manipulating us.
These days,
With social media and
it's
everything.
more important than ever
We'll be media literate.
to know what's real and what's not.
To be critical thinkers.
Because we're constantly bombarded with information.
From all sides.
And we need to be able to sort through it.
To figure out the truth.
When we think about Brian's alleged lies,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder
What's his motivation?
why create this whole fake persona?
Is it for fame?
Maybe sympathy.
Or is it something deeper?
Is he trying to hide something?
Or cope with something?
It's a question that's fascinated people for ages.
Psychologists, sociologists.
Why do people lie? It's complicated.
Could be for personal gain.
Or self-preservation.
Maybe they see the world differently.
Right. Their reality is distorted.
And with social media,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's creating these online personas.
Presenting the best version of themselves.
It makes you wonder,
How much is real?
how much is just a performance?
It's hard to tell sometimes.
So we've talked about the participants,
Brian and Ingrid,
the producers,
so people behind the scenes.
and even us as viewers.
Right.
But what about the future of reality TV?
Where do we go from here?
Will it always be about drama and conflict?
Yeah.
Or are things changing?
I think people are starting to realize
Realize
the
what
problems with reality TV,
the ethical concerns.
the impact on people's lives.
And maybe
We'll see a shift.
towards more authentic content,
Shows about real connection,
personal growth,
meaningful conversation.
instead of just manufactured drama.
I hope so.
It'd be nice to see
Something more real.
something that
The
reflects
complexity of life,
the ups and downs.
the good and the bad.
As we wrap up our deep dive,
Into Brian and Ingrid's story.
we've uncovered more questions than answers.
That's true.
But sometimes that's how it goes.
It's about the journey.
The journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
It's about making us think.
Challenging our assumptions.
And hopefully,
This deep dive has done that.
I think it has.
Had.
Thanks for joining us
On this crazy adventure.
into the world of love lies and reality TV.
Until next time.
Stay curious.
And keep questioning everything.